give him another round of applause. I mean, the morning has been just so full and rich already. Wow. So we are continuing on today with our theme for the year and for the month, which is faith. And our theme for the year, which is faith, and our theme for the month, which is faith, way, what, and how. And the spiritual principles we'll be working with today, spiritual principle number 1, and if you'd like to follow along with the reading of the spiritual principles, I believe there are copies of the spiritual principles in the back of your seats. But spiritual principle number 1, we believe in God, the living Spirit, Almighty One, indestructible, absolute, and self-existence cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. Spiritual principle number 8. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. Spiritual principle number 4. We believe that heaven is within us, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. And spiritual principle number 5. We believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. We've taken the month of January to review the foundational teachings of the Science of Mind that's found in the Science of Mind textbook in the introduction. And so we are doing it, and of the other 300 and so other centers, they all are likely participating and doing the same thing. So in the introduction, there are 4 sections to it. The first section is the thing itself. The second section is the way it works. The third section is what it does. And the fourth part is how you can use it, or how we can use it, how you can use it. The thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how you can use it. So we've been talking about it, and this is our 3rd Sunday talking about it in light of faith. So we said that the thing itself, God, also known as intelligence, that it is love, that it knows all things, that it is mind, that it is life, that it is infinite possibility. We said that the thing itself is your thoughts and my thoughts. We also said that it is law, that it's universal, that it's impersonal, that it gives to all alike, that it is no respecter of persons, and that it values us all, the thing itself. And we said that the thing itself then is seeking to express through us so that it may become more fully aware and more conscious of itself. And so there's a song that sort of speaks to this. It's a song that the Agape Choir sings sometimes, and it's called I Had a Revelation. And in the song, it said that I had a revelation that God loves me and God needs me too. I had a revelation that I am the eyes of God and that I am the hands of God. So this thing itself then is seeking to express through us, because my eyes are God's eyes and my hands are God's hands. And what we've been talking about is its nature. We said that its nature is good, is of goodness, is only seeking good in its experience through you and through me. But the principle reminds us that, however, we are left alone to discover this goodness. We are left alone to discover this goodness, similar to the story of the prodigal son, right? He's left alone to discover it on his own, and so are we. So then it works like this. We said that the way it works then is that it is done unto you as you believe. And that the principle and its nature of goodness is so, that it is so absolute that it's not to be messed with. That the law is what it is, and as such, that it refuses to be budged from its course. In other words, it is what it is. The law is what it is. And as you believe, so be it. It is what it is. And last week we said then that the law is willing and able. It's willing and able. And that takes us to part 3 of the introduction, which is what it does. And what it does is it gives, it imparts, it tells. Why? Because it is. What it does is it gives and it gives and it gives and it gives over and over and over and over and over again. That's what it does. What else does it do? Well, it does for you what you can't do for yourself. That's what it does. It's real important that you remember that. So I'm going to tell you, take a moment and tell your neighbor that it does for you what you can't do for yourself. One more time, because it's very important. It does for you what you can't do for yourself. We got it. And we shall have faith in this love and this law that it'll do for us what we can't do for ourselves. Because it gives and it gives and it gives and it gives. It imparts, it tells, it acquaints, it gives. That's what it does. And Ernest Holmes says then that this is the ultimate. And that when we have arrived at the ultimate, we should call it the ultimate. Like, that's it. It don't get no better. There ain't nothing else. It giving to us is the ultimate. It doing for us what we can't do for ourselves is the ultimate. And let us call it that. He says that, as I said, that when we arrive there, then let us say that it is the ultimate. And so if you're feeling less than, if you're not feeling whole, then it can do for you what you can't do for yourself. In other words, it can make you whole. If you're feeling sad, it can make you happy. If you don't feel free enough to express and to live life fully, it can open you up to avenues so that you may begin to express and to live life to the fullest, so that its fullest expression can express through you. If you can't do it, it can. Because it's what it does. And if you don't feel loved, or if you don't feel worthy, or if you are living in doubt and you are living in fear, then it can remove all doubt and it can remove all fear. Because it can do for you what you can't do for yourself. It's what it does. It can remove all fear and it can remove all doubt where we find ourselves living in faith. And not just any old faith, vitalizing faith, a faith that's so alive that it's crazy. Where we are constantly then living in a state of expectancy. Because we already said that faith is not hoping for something, faith is expecting something. And if you can't get rid of your doubt and your fear, it can. So, just a little bit from the textbook. I'm reading from page 46. And this just speaks to the point of what it does. And in the light that we should consider what it does. In the book, in the section What It Does on page 46, Ernest Holmes says that it should be considered right to live and to enjoy living. To be well and happy and to express freedom is to be in accord with the divine law and wisdom. Here is latitude enough for the most expectant and the most enthusiastic. We should all consider it right to be happy and to enjoy life and to express freedom. We should all allow ourselves to be immersed in this type of thinking, and that it is the thing that we should be doing. So, the thing is this: it does what it does only after we do what we need to do. It's something, it's a little bit like this. Well, let me just say this. I told you 2 weeks ago that faith means you're going to have to get up off your ass. Right? So, it does what it does only when we do what we have to do. You're with me. It's sort of like this. Remember when you was younger and your mom or your dad might say to you, don't go out that house until you wash them dishes, right? Or your mom and dad might say to you, don't get in that bed, don't go out that house until you've done your homework, and don't get in that bed until you've done the dishes. That's what it is. Don't go out that house until you've done that homework, and don't get in that bed that I paid for until you've done those dishes. Yeah? Because then and only then, you're with me, it does what it does only when we've done what we are supposed to do. Then and only then. So it imparts of itself, the reading says, the book says, the text says, it imparts of itself only as we partake of its nature. It tells us only what we can understand. It becomes our wisdom only in such a degree as we embody its intelligence. It acquaints us with its ideas only as we are able and willing to receive them through our own receptive mentalities. It imparts, it tells, it becomes our wisdom, and it acquaints us with its ideas. It gives and it gives and it gives and it gives and it gives. Only as we are able and willing to receive its ideas through our own mentalities. The reading in the book says that then a unity must be established and a conscious connection made before it will do what it does. And so Ernest Holmes says that at some point in time then that our thinking must become deeper, and that we've got to begin to look at what we are thinking about. Because our thoughts are the avenue through which it gives. Because it will only do what it does when we tell it what to do. Only after you have come to acquaint yourself with its ideas and tell it what to do, then it'll do it. Over and over and over.